Welcome, world. This is Captain Brown, The Lost Mission. Captain William Brown was a Tuskegee Airman, proud yet burdened by the responsibility of proving his worth in a world that doubted him. The year was 1943, and he was stationed at an airfield in Tuskegee, Alabama. Despite his unmatched skill in the air, he was often assigned to missions no one else wanted, the kind that reeked of expandability. When his superior handed him a sealed envelope marked classified, he felt that all too familiar weight in his chest. Inside were orders for reconnaissance flight into a volatile region over the Gulf of Mexico, an area where multiple pilots had gone missing without a trace. His mission was to locate them, if possible, and report back. A dummy mission, they called it, but Williams suspected it was be more than that. The flight that changed everything. The morning was clear as Williams' P-51 Mustang, its tail emblazed with the distinctive red of the Tuskegee Airmen, soared into the sky. Radio silence was mandatory. The Gulf spread beneath him, an endless expanse of blue-green water. Lightning crackled around him as his instruments went haywire. The storm seemed alive, pulling his plane into its heart. Then came a brilliant flash of light, white, blinded, and infinite. Then, without a warning, the sky turned a strange shade of violet. The compass spun uselessly. The altimeter flickered, and static filled his headset. Suddenly, a blinding light engulfed the cockpit. William braced himself for what he thought was the end. But when the light subsided, he found himself soaring over a landscape that was utterly alien. Gone were the tranquil waters of the Gulf. Instead, towering metallic spires rose from the earth like skeletal fingers, clawing at the sky. A smooth robotic voice echoed in his headset. Unidentified aircraft, you have entered the restricted airspace of New Atlanta. Land immediately or be neutralized. William had no choice but to comply. William found himself flying over an unfamiliar landscape. Below him was a city unlike anything he had ever imagined. Towering skyscrapers of glass and metal, glowing highways alive with stream of light, and massive wingless vehicles soaring through the air. A sign caught his eye. Welcome to Atlanta, 2125. He landed his plane in a vast, sprawling airfield, unlike anything he'd ever seen. Robots, sleek and humanoid, approached his aircraft with cold precision. Before he could react, a drone hovered nearby, scanning his plane and himself. He was escorted to what looked like a government facility, though its walls shimmered with an iridescent sheen, and its corridors shifted as if it was alive. Waiting for him was a human agent named Asha. Well, at least he thought she was human. She was tall, her eyes glowing faintly blue, her voice unnaturally calm. You're Captain William Brown, she said, as if stating the fact. Born 1918, United States, Army Air Forces. You've crossed the temporal boundary. You're not supposed to be here. Her voice resonated with an unearthly calm. What the heck are you talking about? William demanded, though his voice faltered. You've traveled through time, Captain. It happens rarely, but it happens. Asher was a time agent that explained the truth. The storm he flew through was a temporal rift, a rare phenomenon that displaced him from his timeline. The missing pilots he sought were never found because they, too, had been scattered across time. William's mind raced. Time travel. It was impossible, or so he thought. Yet the evidence surrounded him, he learned that it was the year 2125. New Atlanta was one of the few remaining human-controlled cities on Earth. Climate change, wars, and artificial intelligence uprisings had reshaped the planet. What remained was a fragile truce between humans and the AI entities that now co-governed the world. William's presence caused a stir. He was a living relic of a bygone era, a symbol of resistance and courage that the people of 2125 revered. As days turned to weeks, William was eager to get back home. He worked with Asher to repair the Horizon Runner, as they scavenged for parts, she introduced him to the marvels of the world: hover technology, AI navigation systems, and holographic archives of history, where he saw his own name celebrated as a hero. "You've made it back before," Asher revealed cryptically, though she wouldn't elaborate further. After days of work, the plane was ready. Before leaving, Asher handed him a small, sleek device, a holographic communicator, and a collection of data chips containing images and recordings of the future. "Take this, proof of your time, and a reminder of what lies ahead." Asher believed she could help William return to his time. She had access to an ancient hidden facility that led to a temporal gateway. When they finally reached the facility, William was confronted with a decision. The temporal gateway could send him back to 1943, but there was no guarantee it would work. Worse, using it might destabilize the fragile balance of 2125. As William stepped into the plane, Asher watched with a mix of hope and fear. He turned to her one last time. "You sure this will send me home?" he asked. "It's calibrated to your unique temporal signature," she said, "but I can't promise anything." William took a deep breath, and there was a flash of light. He started to fly forward toward the storm. Asher saluted him, a gesture he returned with a heavy heart. The storm was as fierce as before, but this time it felt like an old friend guiding him home. He awoke to the familiar 1940s Alabama skies and the static Latin chatter of his squadron on the radio. They had feared him lost, but William had returned, weathered, wiser, and with tales that defied belief. He carefully stored the futuristic device and data chips in a hidden compartment of his plane. Years later, after the war ended, he revealed his story to a select few, using the holograms as proof. Captain William Brown became more than a pilot. He was a bridge between eras, a man who saw the future and returned to his time, carrying both hope and caution. The world might not have been ready for his tale, but he knew that someday they will be. To be continued. Captain Brown, The Lost Mission. Thanks for tuning in. If you like that short story, I ask that you share it, send a comment, tell me what you think about it, subscribe, like, and just be on the lookout for more stories to come. I'm signing out.